Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Yoga Anywhere. I'm really excited that you're joining me here today, and I'm joining you from Taipei, Taiwan. And today we're going to do a really great practice for stiff legs. So if you've been walking a ton, if you've been sitting a ton, if you're training for a sport, or if you're just like me and you've got tight legs, then this practice is going to feel really, really good. So coming up into a standing position, and coming to the edge of your mat, just bringing your feet either big toes touching, heels apart, or feet about hips width distance. Drawing your shoulders up towards your ears and then down your spine, and just closing your eyes here. We'll just take a moment to check in here and do a quick little scan of the body. Starting at the crown of your head and working your way down, noticing places of tightness or tension, high energy or low energy. Just getting an overlay for what is happening in the body right now. Connecting to your breath and beginning to bring deep inhales and exhales in through your nose and out through your nose if you can. We'll just be here for a few more moments, just really becoming present and aware of our bodies and our breath and what's happening in the mind. So just kind of checking in and seeing, what's going on with me today. And then as you're ready, blinking your eyes open, we'll just move through a few rounds of half sun salute to warm up the body and kind of get the legs going. So then inhale, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, hinge at your hips, diving forward, bend your knees if you need to. Your fingers may or may not touch the ground. On an inhale, draw your hands to your shins, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, folding forward. On an inhale, reach your hands up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Release them down. Inhale, arms to the ceiling. Exhale, hinge at your hips, diving forward. Bend your knees if you need. Inhale, draw your hands to your shins, half lift, lengthen, long spine here. Exhale, folding forward. You're probably beginning to feel the backside of your legs if they're tight. I know mine are firing up a little bit. On an inhale, reach your hands up towards the sky. And exhaling, hands to heart center. Once more, inhale, reach your arms. Hinge at your hips, diving forward on an exhale. Inhale, draw your hands to your shins, half lift, lengthen. Exhaling, planting your hands. And just bending through one knee and then the other. Just releasing here. Shaking yes and no with your head. Relaxing your head and neck. If you're like me, you're prone to carrying that tension through your neck and your shoulders, which is just not necessary. On an inhale, reaching your arms back towards the sky. And exhale, draw your hands to your heart. So now we're going to cross our right foot over our left, drawing your pinky toes together. So as we do this, we're going to engage through our lower core and tuck the pelvis in and under. So keeping a nice straight back here. On an inhale, reach your hands towards the sky. And as you exhale, hinging forward as much as you can. So this stretches for the IT band, which is on the outside of the leg. And in this one, you're going to feel it through the left leg. So your fingertips may touch the ground. You may just rest them on your calf or right above the knee on your thigh. There's no right or wrong. There's no how far you should go. If you never stretch your IT bands, this is probably going to create a lot of sensation. So just breathing through it, and we'll take a couple more breaths here. So 3 deep breaths. In and out. One more deep breath. On your next inhale, reaching your hands back up towards the sky. Then exhale, releasing down, shaking out your legs, giving them a bit of a bounce. And then right foot down, left foot over, pinky toes together. Zip in and up. Inhale, reach your hands to the sky. As you exhale, hinge at your hips, folding forward. Placing your hands wherever it feels good, keeping your spine as long as possible. And just noticing what feels different about this side. For me, this side feels a little bit tighter. So just observing that for you and your body. And seeing if you can observe without judgment. There's no good, there's no bad, there's no right, there's no wrong. It's just a practice of observing what's happening within ourselves. One more deep breath. On an inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. As you exhale, release down, shaking out those legs. All right, we'll do a little bit of lunging now to stretch a little bit deeper into the legs. So inhale, arms above your head. Exhale, hinge your hips, diving forward. Inhale, draw your hands to your shins, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, plant your hands and step your right foot back, dropping your back knee down and untucking your toes, coming up into a low lunge. So you can keep your hands on your knees, or if this feels pretty good, you can reach your arms up towards the sky and then sink a little bit deeper. And here we really want to keep the belly active, so drawing the belly in and allowing the stretch to come through the front side of the leg. So if you're not feeling the stretch through the hip flexor and the front part of the quad, sink a little bit deeper. Breathing here. One more inhale and exhale. And as you're ready, we're going to straighten through that front leg and come into a hamstring stretch. So flexing your foot as much as you can here to engage, and then straightening your leg as much as you can. This stretch might be a little bit intense for you, so just go easy on your body. And as you're ready, walking your fingers forward, planting your hands, tucking your toes, we're going to step back to downward facing dog. As you get into downward facing dog, pedaling one knee and then the other. Feeling a nice stretch through the back side of the leg, so into the calves, maybe into the hamstrings. And once you're done, just finding your pose. Move into the other side here, so take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, bring your right foot forward, plant your foot in between your hands, drop your back knee down, and come up into that low lunge. So sometimes I find when I get into the pose, so say I come into it and not feeling that much in my hip flexor, I come out a little bit, I tuck my pelvis in and down, and then I sink back into it, and I really, really feel that. Maybe reaching the arms up towards the ceiling. And breathing into it, so sinking deep into your exhales. Knowing that if you don't even sink a little bit deeper or it's a millimeter, that's totally fine. Meeting your body where it's at and being okay with that. One more deep breath. And as you're ready, reaching your hands down, walking your hands back and flexing through that leg, coming into your hamstring stretch here. For me, this is one of the hardest poses. My hamstrings, right from my glutes all the way down and then through my calves to my Achilles tendon, are quite tight. So I feel this quite a bit. You may or may not, just observing how it feels in your body. One more deep breath. And as you're ready, walking your hands back, tucking your back toes under and stepping back to downward facing dog. On an inhale, bringing your left foot forward, planting your left foot down, dropping your back knee. We're going to walk our foot out. So it's a little bit hard to see on this side, but you're going to walk your foot out so it's kind of at a 45-degree angle right near the outside edge of your mat. And bringing both hands towards the inside, untucking your toes and sinking down. So we're coming into lizard pose. So a couple of options here. This might be enough for you. This might not. If you need a bit more, you can come down onto your elbows. If that feels good, you can stay there. Otherwise, you can stay up on your hand and then reach for your back leg and add in a really nice quad stretch. So this gets into the hips and it also gets into the front side of the leg, which is awesome. So finding your variation, being comfortable with where you're at, and breathing into it for 2 more deep breaths. And as you're ready, slowly releasing wherever you are. Heel toeing your foot back to center, planting your hands, tucking your toes, and stepping back to downward facing dog. Really good. Taking a moment here just to feel how your legs feel. And then as you're ready, stepping your right foot forward, dropping your back knee down, heel toeing out that foot so you can see it a little bit better on this side. Bringing both hands to the inside and then either coming down onto elbows, maybe staying as you are, or maybe reaching back towards that back foot. For me, my quads are definitely a tight area, so any opportunity I get to stretch them out, I take it. We just have a couple more poses left, so if this is really intense, just breathe through it. You've got it. One more deep breath. Releasing wherever you are. Heel toeing your foot back through center. And then coming back to downward facing dog one last time, just to feel how your legs feel now that you've stretched out both sides. And then as you're ready, coming down onto hands and knees, coming back to seated and swinging your legs out in front of you. So I'll face you. But we're going to do a butterfly stretch for the groin. This is going to be our second last pose. So bringing the balls of your feet together and then opening them up like the page of a book. Taking an inhale to lengthen and an exhale, folding forward, allowing your gaze to be just a few feet in front of you. Maybe using your elbows to open up the inside of your legs a little bit more. So just depending on your tightness, you might feel this on the outside edge of your leg, or you might feel it through the inner line of your leg. Wherever you are, breathing into it and just seeing how far you can go. It doesn't really matter. You don't get brownie points if you can go further or anything like that. It's just seeing what your body is able to do, where you feel certain things, and making mental notes of that. Taking 2 more deep breaths. As you're ready, slowly coming up. We're going to release our legs long out in front of us for a forward fold called Paschimottanasana in Sanskrit. So inhale, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, hinging forward, grabbing towards your big toes if you can. If that's not possible, that's okay. Just allow your hands to rest maybe on your calves or beside your knees. Keeping the back nice and long, and if you need to, you can bend your knees. Just kind of figuring out what feels best for your body. There's not really any real right or wrong, but I'll show you from the side. We really don't want to be doing this. This is the one thing that we do want to avoid. We want to create a nice long spine and fold from there. And so when we do this, we'll often feel the stretch in our backs, and it's not a great stretch to do to your back. When you lengthen and fold, all of a sudden it takes it to the back side of the legs, which is what we're looking for, and it's more of a correct variation for the pose. So once you settle in, maybe closing your eyes and just taking a couple of deep breaths. Inhale deeply. You exhale, slowly coming up, giving your legs a little bit of a bounce, and then doing windshield wipers from left and right, just releasing your legs. And then as you're ready, making your way onto your back. I said last pose, but we just have one more to do, and it's just to close off the series. We'll just hug our knees into our chest. And then grabbing the outside knife edges of your feet, coming into a happy baby pose. So this should feel pretty good after all of that. Maybe rocking side to side, maybe staying stationary. And then as you're ready, releasing one leg and then the other, one arm and then the other. And I would really encourage you to stay here for a couple of minutes, at least 1 minute, but 3 to 5 is more ideal. And just before we finish up, I just wanted to thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that your legs feel really good and limber. And I will see you in the next video.